All right, mate. So could you take a look at Link? Yeah, it's moving pretty slow compared to other coins. Well, I suppose it is. I mean, larger coins do tend to move slower. So is it really moving slower? 40% bounce, depending on where you take that from. This to me, a lot of times when you get these uptrends, this can be all the dip you're getting. Like this already dipped today quite a substantial bit, and you know it's ended up clawing its way back. I mean that has to be considered a good sign of strength. A 10% dip after a 40% bounce. So the fact that this is now your stop loss, I mean this is your line in the sand. If this trend is going to continue, you know, like many trends in the past, let's try and get a few examples here. Like even here you can see it just grinds and grinds and grinds. It never really gives you the dip, it just keeps going. Even when this trend started moving up, the dip here was very microscopic, and then it pushed off again. Even here, like there's no dip, it just keeps going, and then eventually you get the dip. So this is coming up, moving up into the apex here, kind of where it was. It's different there, but anyway, we'll just look at it. But you can see quite a lot of times Link does not give a dip, and it continues to move. So worst case scenario, this has to be your stop loss. So I would suggest that if there is a dip anywhere, you know, in here, that's your buy point. And if there's a dip back in here somewhere, you buy here, and then you have a 5% risk down here. I mean, that seems to be definitely one way of getting on board here, because this in theory should now push off up into the red 200 moving average, and if it gets to the red 200, quite often it can go to the purple and maybe more. Link can often be one of those coins that are very hard to get on board. Once it goes, there is no dip, and it just chops higher and higher and higher. This is kind of forming a bit of a compression right now that can break up pretty sharp sometimes into the red 200. And this is exactly the reaction you want to see. You know, the dip down, getting bought back up, and we have now, let me draw that again, that didn't work very well. We have now stop hunted these lows. See these lows right here? This is the previous lows. We have stop hunted the previous lows, shut off all the stops, or activated all the stops I should say, and pushed this price higher. It's like a springboard. This RSI is also bullish. Right, you can see it's a breakout in the RSI right along here, and as long as we are above this 50, any dips, I would also set an alarm here. If you like Link and you're looking to get on board, I'll do it myself here, but set an alarm on the 50 and the RSI right down here, and if there is somehow a dip back to this 50 mark, it is likely to be a buying opportunity, just like it was here. Let's look at other examples here. Yeah, so you can see right here, which was right here, you can see this was a dip into the 50 right here, and then that gives you another leg higher. So you have to think as well, if there is a dip at some point, wherever this 50, whenever the next time this 50 gets hit, you have to think it's a buying opportunity, because this is a breakout, retest, and then you should get another leg higher. Just like this broke out, retested the 50, well that retested down to 44 actually, but and then pushed higher. The reason it retested to 44 is because the high was only 55. Ideally, in theory, you'd want to see this, at least the lows, and that's that dip. I'm nearly sure that's that dip that we've seen. Let's look at this. These lows in theory should hold, and this should push up higher from here. Yeah, you can see that's this low. This low is a very important low. You start breaking this low, and well, that means then you can start breaking down, having a deeper retrace. You know, you're probably going to end up, if you break that low there, you're probably coming down here. Well, maybe first target here, because you can see all these wicks coming right, wick, body, close here. I suppose it was resistance if you keep going across as well. In here, resistance, it pierced above it here, but a very important level. That would be the next target if it breaks. Which may not seem a lot, but that's 20% drop. But essentially now, you want to see the monthly hold green, you want to see the 3-month hold green, and this to continue pushing higher. honestly, it's a mess of a chart. Just by looking at all these wicks, you know, it's not a clean chart anymore. Link used to be very, very good, a good chart to be charting, but it's just turned into a mess, to be honest. Like, look at this, it's completely all over the place. What needs to happen here now is this line in the sand is your ultimate line in the sand. This needs to be a bullish deviation for Link fans and hodlers, and then obviously this was deviation, and this needs to somehow work its way back up and hold this bull trend. If this did BART up here, this would be a very powerful U-shaped pattern that can go a lot higher then afterwards. But it really needs to prove itself from here, and this deviation point needs to hold. This is the ultimate line in the sand. We break below this and Link could go to, I mean, it could go to $4. You never know. I know that's very extreme, but I'm just saying, you break this level and it's not good at all.